I was finna say, what's up with my mic, yo? My mic was trying to not register, yo. What's up with that kid? Nah, what's going on with y'all, man? Macworld in the building. Y'all already know what it is, man. I just had something crazy happen to me. So I'm watching the press conference. Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford press conference. And dude, this press conference is so heated. I can't wait for this fight to come on Saturday. So I'm watching this press conference and they arguing in the crowd arguing. I got a video that was playing in the background on my phone, a clip, like one of those clip videos. So it was on my Facebook page, one of the ones where you scroll down through the timeline. So somehow the press conference froze up while the people was arguing in the crowd and the video started playing off my Facebook page. So in the Facebook video was some people arguing and then a shooting ended up breaking out. So here I am watching the press conference for Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, right? And I'm thinking a shooting done broke out in the crowd. So I'm like, damn, we ain't even finna get no fight. Black folks can't do nothing. I'm thinking they done got the bus and blah, blah, blah. Cause dude was saying something like, man, it could get real fast. You know what I'm saying? Not enough video smooth streaming as such viewers will experience buffering. I don't know what is going on, man. It's crazy. It's giving me a crazy error message on my thing or whatever. But no, so it was getting I was seeing it was playing the audio. It was like blah blah blah. And it's like, oh my God. So I'm like, oh damn, they done start shooting at the boxing at the weigh-in, bruh. My mind was just blown, dude, for a second. I swear, my whole weekend, my whole life was just fucked up for a second. Cause I'm like, damn, we not gonna get no fight no more if they done broke out and, you know what I'm saying, start shooting and all that. But it turned out to be straight though. I realized what the error was. What's good with y'all, man? Speaking of errors, man, you know, we gotta look at this whole thing with Carlee Russell and shit. We still looking at it. So I found this video, right, of her talking to her grandparents. And well, not talking to her grandparents. She like basically she's supposed to be doing something for a prank or something, right? It's like a YouTube, not a YouTube, but like a TikTok trend or something. You know, TikTok got all the weirdo shit, right? So she was talking about her granddad was a drug dealer and her grandmama was a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be funny, I guess. It was supposed to be some type of joke trend thing or whatever, but it was just weird. And you could kind of tell her grandparents wasn't really into it, but they was going along and the mama was egging it on. And that's indicative of this whole situation. The daughter with the disturbing behavior, the mama egging it along. Y'all gonna find out that they gonna let y'all know that the mama was in on it too. I said that on my channel. When I'm right, subscribe to my channel because I always be right about that shit, right? But I told y'all. So we gonna look at it. It's just a crazy, disturbing video. Y'all gonna be like, what the hell? So I even issued a trigger warning when y'all see it because the grandparents, you could tell, you don't play with your grandparents like that. You know, why you want to play with some? You don't play with your elders that way. You're talking about they some prostitutes and drug dealers. It's crazy, y'all. Y'all gonna trip when y'all see it. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's I could say maybe it's a black thing or something because we don't play with our elders like that. She'll get whooped. But she got a little bit of money and I think her mama done spoiled the hell out of her. So that's probably explained it. And then we got this girl, this other lady, she talking about she think that like she was talking about she was with her daughter or whatever, and her daughter was listening to some, must have been listening to some on the radio or listening to a video or something like that. She was talking about how she said that it was Cardi B doing a song with somebody from her city. She from Chicago, and she was talking about how the song was so crazy. Like what they talking about in the song, especially given the fact that like the image they be trying to push, especially given the fact like Cardi B married, you know what I'm saying? But they don't be pushing that. They not pushing what they actually do. They pushing you being a whole different way. You being masculine, you doing the type of shit that ain't gonna get you no damn man, right? And she was just pointing out how she worked with a lot of different girls. She seemed like a real sincere person, right? And she do like outreach work. So I'm like, yeah, let's see what somebody like that got to say that's like boots on the ground that deal with people. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to look at that. I felt like that was a good one y'all needed to see. She was cooking though too. See, she was saying some real shit. Then finally, you know, sometimes I get a little bit political towards the end of the week. You know, it was a lady named Ruby Freeman, right? She was an election worker. And it's finna be this. It's a indictment coming down for January 6th for them storming the Capitol. But it's gonna be a RICO coming down in Georgia over them trying to interfere with the elections with Brad Raffensperger and all them. What it do, Burt Lang in the build? What's going on, G? So it's gonna be a RICO in Georgia coming down, and I think that one gonna be sticky, dude. It's gonna have a couple big names in it. And so part of that, one of the steps in that was you know, them getting them fake electors or whatever. They got their ass. And then they was the dude, Rudy Giuliani, you know, he was talking about the lady Ruby Freeman and her daughter, like they was some drug dealers or something, or they was doing some shit with some like passing off some secret info. And they start getting death threats and all that. They life got put in danger behind that shit. But you know, it's hard for a regular person to really get justice against somebody who got a bunch of lawyers and all that. But eventually, man, when you lying, the thing about lies is the lies is always gonna change, and the lies wear thin, but the truth gonna always be the truth. So they lied on her, all that. Eventually, she finally got cleared in court and got her justice or whatever. So, you know, we gonna look at that, because I feel like we need to see some more of that shit, man. We need to see more accountability. I ain't got no problem with people, you know, having more than me or nothing like that. That ain't an issue. But it's like, if you or being in a position higher than me, but with power come responsibility. I don't want nobody in no position higher than me that's just irresponsible or a liar or a thief or none of that shit. Everybody done been on a job where they done been a good ass worker and had a fucked up boss that wasn't shit, and you felt like you liked the job, but you had to quit the boss. You know what I'm saying? But let's get on into it, y'all. I'm gonna get these analytics straight, and we gonna dive right in. Macworld Live, baby. Let's go. Mac, we're live at 5. You already know who it is. It's your boy Sean Mac in the building, checking in with the latest. Might not be the greatest. This is the shit you need to know. So let's get into it. All right, check it out. I told y'all, man, this chick is disturbed. Y'all know we've been keeping up with Carlee Russell, who faked like she got kidnapped and all that, right? One dude in particular been doing some good coverage on it. His name is JLR Investigates, and he posted this video, and this video was crazy, man. You gonna see her grandparents basically, it looked like she basically just humiliating their grandparents. They don't want to be here, but they going along with her stupid shit, and the mother is egging it on, which is indicative of the whole situation. Carlee stupid shit and the mother egging it on, right? Right or wrong, that's exactly what happened. So let's look at it, y'all.
I'm going to share with everyone a video of Carlee Russell speaking. She speaks. She is with her grandparents, and she posted this on her own social media account. Check this out.
My name is Carlee Russell. I am applying to the master's program scholarship for African American women. I have to interview, or basically just have two of my mentors in my life that have brought me to this point that I'm at, and that have taught me to just continue pursuing my goals and my dreams. So here we have my grandmom, Lucille, and my granddad, Glenn. So they are retired teachers now. They both went to Alabama State University. And basically why I look at them as my mentors and people that have encouraged me to keep moving forward in my program is because they dated in high school, right? Yes. They dated in high school, and they've been dating ever since. Obviously, they're married now. But I know that they had to overcome certain obstacles. So my granddad and my grandmom had two children when they were younger, and my granddad had to end up selling drugs. And and so also,
Just keep, this is crazy. Just keep watching.
You're gonna have to do this over.
Because I'm looking at Granny in the camera, and Granny's looking with a stiff face.
Yeah, I'm looking at Granddad because I didn't know anything about that.
Because Granny don't want to be a part of this bullshit.
So,
Y'all gotta smile.
You can't be on that bus not laughing.
But Granny was looking like
Just don't look at Granny.
a bug.
I know. Mama, don't look uptight. Just look at me.
Y'all look so stiff.
No,
Daddy look fine.
yeah, I'm
Mama,
looking
just
relaxed.
relax. The way Granny looking next time. Okay, come on, Papa. She can edit it.
I'm gonna just edit it out.
okay,
Okay.
for real.
Are you ready? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, when
Mama, she ain't gonna be able to edit too much now.
gosh,
Probably don't look at her.
I'm looking in the
You're
camera.
actress. Be serious.
Oh my
Be
gosh.
serious.
I'm just not gonna look at Granny.
I mean, you can smile, but you can't be busting my laugh.
Okay.
You didn't tell me about them drugs.
Okay. I'm just gonna smile. Just make sure y'all smile and just looking nice. Okay. So when my
Granddad looking like how her dad was looking on that video and the mama was lying. He don't want to be a part of this bullshit.
So my
What's funny, they not even laughing. They don't want to be humiliated on your social media being called drug dealers and prostitutes.
confused.
I am.
You gotta you have to play along with it.
She looking like, I can't stand you. She looking like you the worst granddaughter. Look how she looked at her when she told her she got to play along with it. Why would you do this to your grandparents anyway? Like, they don't even, it's only her and the mother think it's funny. The grandparents don't want to do this shit. They probably just entertaining it because, you know, the mother is their daughter. She got some money and shit. The granddaughter spoiled. You know. Look how she looking at it like, this shit crazy, man. Why would she do this to her own grandparents, man, for some internet clout?
Okay. So when the selling drugs wasn't enough, my grandmom ended up having to.
She annoying as hell. She look annoying. Her mama laugh is annoying. They both annoying with these fake laughs. I guess it's because all they doing, the grandparents don't, you could tell they don't want to be a part of this.
Thank you, Granddaddy. Granddaddy going along with it.
Thank you, Granddaddy, for Granddaddy going along with it. He just sitting there not saying nothing. And hey, look what you heard what the mama said when she said that. Watch.
They don't know y'all.
Okay. Is this for your school video?
Yes. They don't know y'all.
She like, why is you doing this to us? That's what the grandmother just asked. Like, why you doing this to us? And Carlee, sociopath ass, like, they don't know who y'all is. They don't know who y'all is. They your grandparents. They your real live grandparents that you talking about. Like, come on, man.
Okay, for real. All right.
Then look, she roll her eyes at the grandmama, rude. You know what I'm saying? Right in front of the mama. She look at the granddad to check on him. You know what I'm saying? To see if he had any dissent, and he just gonna sit there with his arms crossed. You could tell they come from a family where the women do all the talking and the men just be sitting their ass there. Watch this.
Thank you, Granddaddy. Granddaddy going along with it.
Now watch what the mama gonna say.
Just go along and get along. Okay.
She said, just go along to get along, right? Like, she mad.
Ended up having to.
She mad as fuck. Why is she fake laughing too? This ain't even funny, man.
So.
I hated it.
So she ended up having a prostitute for a little bit, and you know that was hard. And of course, my granddad didn't like it, and you know that caused them a lot of hardships in the house. And so since my granddad was so stressed
It's supposed to
out,
be
my
some type of
grandma
joke.
prostituting, he ended up doing the drugs that he was selling. So he went through that process, and she had to check him into a rehab facility so that he could get off of his drugs.
You have to do more than get off drugs. I had to put the frying pan back under the cabinet. Just like this.
This shit is crazy, y'all. Why would she do this? Would y'all grandparents do some shit like this? Let y'all get on social media and say they drug dealers and prostitutes?
You know, how that, people perceive them now, they didn't just get there overnight. They're real prestigious people. Everyone knows them everywhere they go because of everything that they've done and, the way they carry themselves. But it wasn't always that way because a lot of people don't know that my granddad is a recovering crackhead, basically. And a lot of people...
What? I don't get it. Like, what?
And a lot of people don't know that my grandmom is a recovering prostitute. So... No?
Y'all hear the mama fake laugh? He be in the building. What's going on? Watching this chick who lied about getting kidnapped, basically making up this fake ass story about her grandparents being some prostitutes and drug dealers or whatever, and it's supposed to be funny. Like, I guess it's supposed to be some type of TikTok trend or something like that, but you could tell the grandparents don't want to go through with that shit. It's like the mama recording and the daughter dumbass idea because it's her social media, and the mama recording just because she one of them type of mamas and shit, just trying to be involved in some clout worthy shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's her fake laughing behind the camera like this extra funny. But what I think this is, it's indicative though of like what she willing to do for some clout. You know what I'm saying? And then that she make up some fucking stories on the fly like that with a straight face and gotta force herself to laugh about it. The grandmama don't want to be a part of this shit. Is it really that funny? Look, the granddad don't want to be a part of it. He acting like it's so funny that he gotta get up and laugh, but really he don't want to be a part of that shit. Look at the mama like looking at dude like, grow some nuts, man. Why you got us doing this bullshit?
It's for scholarship purposes. Like, we can edit like the laughing and stuff out though. But we gonna keep the crack and stuff. You know, that was really happening.
You gonna get a whole lot of shit.
Granddaddy, you used to sell drugs.
Okay. If you say so.
Okay, but
Take the daughter and the mama to jail, man. They disturbed.
Had to be honest. So we had to be honest. So you can't say that it's not true.
Why not?
Because it's true.
I don't know, like I told you, must have been the other one. You got the wrong one. Oh my God.
But I'm gonna edit all the laughing and stuff out. We're gonna keep the truth in there though.
Well, if they come at me, that everyone have to tell me the truth. I don't know nothing about what she was telling about, y'all. I didn't do that shit.
Granddad, come on now.
Come on, shit.
Kimar told me that you used to sell drugs.
Yeah, well, he lied. Let me do my hair again.
It's okay, Granddad. Everybody used to do some kind of drugs.
Not me.
Okay, y'all not gonna be honest, Granny. You're not gonna be honest about what you did either.
If I leave that there, I'll never have a career again.
You ain't gotta worry about no career.
You're retired.
Whatever.
It's okay, Granny. Y'all just had hard times, and it's okay.
No.
Yeah, they were hard times, but there was no damn drugs and prostitutes.
Oh, good. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Wrong one.
So, Granddad, you never.
Why would you do this to your grandparents, man?
Yeah.
Disturbed. But I guess if you willing to lie, if you willing to call, see how much an Amber Alert is. Like, you could tell she one of them dramatic ass kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? Only child, daughter, family got a bunch of money. You know, they say they live in almost like $1 million house. Her daddy is like a bank not like owner, but he like somewhere up there high in the banking, you know, industry or whatever. Just disturbing behavior, and the mama, you could tell from a young age, just played along like it was cute. It was cute, even when the daughter was getting annoying, even when she rude, when she doing shit rude to your own parents, you playing it up like it's so cute. She's sitting there laughing. And they did a lot of psych profiles on the type of person that would do what she did, faking like they got kidnapped and all that. And it's like a narcissistic type of child that end up growing up doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He said she manipulated them. They spoiled her, and look what they got in return. Exactly, man. Like, this shit crazy. I would never do this to my grandparents.
Look at them.
What? Granny, you never checked Granddad into a drug rehab center?
I told you, you got the wrong one, not me.
I could have swore that y'all said Granddad used to be on drugs and he had to go to rehab before he got his before he graduated.
The granddaddy like, this joke stale, dude. I don't want to be a part of this bullshit. Why are we even here over here at y'all house? Y'all invited us here for this?
Sat down too.
Junior, do you hear that shit, man? Your dad and mama were drug addicts and prostitutes.
Wow.
And your niece is propagating that shit. To the national scholarship committee.
Carlee, you that hard for 15,000.
What?
We'll give you 15,000.
Boy.
There's a toddler on the side of the
But they know that
freeway.
y'all overcame obstacles. Like, who better to have on a video than somebody who was a recovering drug addict and somebody who was a recovering prostitute?
Still not me.
You got the wrong somebody. Oh, shit.
I thought he
So let me show y'all something just so y'all will see, you know, what we dealing with here. So I was looking at this video and I thought I was the only one looking like this is some weirdo stuff. So you see my comment on the top. Hold on, let me see if I got my zoom it right. Nah, I already know. All right, let's do zoom it real fast so I can show y'all these comments. Hold on, people. All right, let's go to downloads. Come on, where you at? Zoom it. I know you somewhere around here. There you go. All right, so let's do zoom at 64, not Apple. All right, so look, check it out. It say, what do the grandparents selling drugs have to do with Carlee needing a scholarship? This is further evidence of just how lacking they all are in integrity. Do you know how many young people survive far worse that desperately need a scholarship? But see, this is, okay, so that's what I was thinking. Like, it was just weird for her to want to use that story, right, on some old, like, making up some shit, and then the mother laughing in the background, and they gonna edit it out and all this bullshit. I'm like, man, they both some liars, right? So then, look, I was scrolling down, I'm looking through them. It say, so she fabricated stories before, and her mom really thinks it's hilarious. Okay, so this the one right here, right, where I was doing my research, and it said this. It said, I remember this TikTok trend, but choosing drug addiction and prostitution as her mean of humor was classless. So I guess it was like a TikTok trend going around where you try to act like you got like a sad story made. Fresh in the build. What's going on, Fresh? I guess it's like a TikTok trend going around or something where you act like you got like this sad scholarship story or whatever. But like you could see like her grandparents, A, they don't know shit about that shit. B, it was like she ain't had to bring them on there, like the two people, and be like, yeah, he was a drug dealer and a crackhead, and she a prostitute. And then on top of that, I could understand, okay, you finna try to say some humiliating shit about me, right? You my granddaughter, you a little piece of shit granddaughter, but I'm playing along with your little teacup games and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play along with your little scholarship games, you and your big head ass mama. So, okay, so why do it gotta be, like we a drug dealer and a prostitute, and then you got us on here talking this shit about us, and you can't even be serious long enough to get this shit over with, because you clearly see we uncomfortable being disrespected like that. You know what I'm saying? And Fresh say, yeah, is that old girl? He say he need to leave and come back to the live. Like, huh? He say you slow, you can see it on her face. She about 9 years old. Yeah, playing these little games, and her mama think that shit cute and funny. You know what I'm saying? And I was just looking at the comments: disrespectful, rude, nasty, hateful, not thinking things seriously, refuses to come under authority. So Carlee will never become an authority, period. I wouldn't want a girl taking my blood pressure, let alone running the IV into my arm. And as a matter of fact, I think when I do my update, she might have just got arrested too, because they said they was finna arrest her soon. That's what the one dude said, who be doing the investigation. It say this girl has been acting to get what she wants since birth, with her mother as the director. Her mother has raised her like this, and I'm not sure if her father just been ignoring this behavior and accepting it from them both, or what's his deal. He's a non-responsive or at least non-verbal factor in the situation. She's literally trying to convince her grandparents some crazy nonsense of a story. Yeah, like, they like, what's going on? They like, why you doing this and shit? And she like, oh, it's for my scholarship. And she like, we ain't no drug dealers and shit. Like, you gonna take this to the scholarship board? And she like, but you was a granddad. I thought you was a drug dealer and all that. Like, stop playing with your elders like that. This shit pissed me off. Bro, it's unreal for real. EB say she need a real hard hug. A real hard hug. Bro, the hardest, bro. She need a hug. Matter of fact, when you hug her, don't even focus on none of this. Focus on the neck. Focus right around her neck and give her the tightest hug you can give her. You know what I'm saying? That's what she need. But nah, it be little disrespectful little shits like this that grow up. And like her mama think it's all funny. You know how you got some mamas that be thinking they daughter best friend? I know a girl like that, man. I ain't gonna say her name because we real cool. But her daughter rude as fuck. Only child. One child. Rude as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Always like she could be talking and shit to grown people. Her daughter just weigh in on it. I be thinking like, why you let her do that? But she plays it up like it's cute. You know what I'm saying? Like she tries to play into it like she's so crazy. Like, nah, she rude. She must have got to say some rude shit to me. And I just was like, I don't even know how to respond to no shit like that, man. I ain't used to nobody letting kids just, you know what I'm saying? But those kids that get to do shit like that, and like, yeah, she plays with grown folks. I done watched her do it, and the girl, the people who she playing with, know the mama let her do that shit. So they be like, girl, you crazy, girl, you girl, and all that. But they really be, I be seeing it in their face. They be wanting to be like, ooh, your little bitty ass. But this how they grow up to be like this.
You know, at first I thought it was a joke, but it seemed like he was going along with it, and then he like changed his mind.
Why was he going along? Why granddad sit here and go along with something he know not
He
true?
probably want me to know about that craze.
Look, the grandmama is like, I thought this shit was a joke, but now it seemed like,
Y'all been together since what, 15 and 16 years old?
He gonna stay that when he was 13 and 12. 12 and 13. Who told you that, Carlee?
I just been hearing about that the whole time I've been raised.
Okay, all right.
That's why we looked at granddad, so much, because we know that he a recovering drug addict.
No, hell, you didn't.
Mom.
Ain't nobody never told you, hey, they ain't nobody.
slap her up. If I was a granddad, bro, he in the perfect backhand position. I would just backhand her with prayers, YouTube.
Huh?
Mom. Mom. Didn't you tell me granddad used to do drugs?
I didn't tell you that Kimari told you that.
So what Kimari did?
Call Kimo.
What Kimari?
Grandparents is uncomfortable, man.
So that was Carlee Russell a few years ago. You get a little understanding on the family dynamics and who Carlee Russell is in the spotlight right now. She admitted she lied and created a hoax kidnapping. She admitted she lied when she called the authorities to report a toddler on the side of 459. That was false. There was no toddler. Will Carlee Russell be charged? Everyone wants to know, who is Carlee Russell? So I played a video of her speaking to kind of get an understanding of who she is. It might have painted some sort of picture. I got a little bit out of it. Plus, she provided some insight about her grandparents. And
Nah, definitely. It's definitely a dynamic there that you could see. You could see that the grandparents, that's their granddaughter. Grandparents, they not really into like social media like that. So you could see they was like trying to play along as uncomfortable as they felt. And they wasn't laughing. The dad was trying to do his best to laugh along and make light of it because the mama was uncomfortable and shit. Like, the grandmama was uncomfortable and she wasn't really with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't finna be putting me and my husband out here like we some prostitutes. And she like, why is we doing this? What we doing this for? But it was all just Carlee wanted to do some shit at somebody else's expense. And then the mama faking like it was so funny. So, I felt like that gave a little bit of insight into what her personality is like. Almost like dude said, you can see these type of traits in kids sometimes, and that shit, if you don't address it, that shit come out later. You know what I'm saying? And now look where she at. She done made up a whole hoax. I think I seen a kid. There's a kid walking down the freeway, talking about she seen a baby and shit. You know what I'm saying? She ain't see no damn baby. But speaking of capping and speaking of all that, like, I was looking at this thing. Well, I'm gonna let y'all see it, man, because I'm gonna just go into it. Check this out, y'all. What y'all think about this?
George Pizza, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chichi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Conspiracy to destroy the black woman. Let's get it.
Okay, y'all. So real quick, I was on Chicago and I saw a video of a young lady. I don't know her name. So I guess she's a rapper from Chicago, just got signed. And Cardi B was here recently doing a feature and a video with this young lady, right? I'm reading through the comments, but I go listen to the song, and I get that as black women, for a very long time, we've been put in positions where we've had to, you know, kind of be masculine in some ways, not all, because of survival, right? Simply because of survival. I get that. I'm one of those. I'm the oldest child, oldest grandchild. I'm in positions often where it's like I have to take on more than I necessarily would want to. I get that part. But that has never taken away from me being a lady. You know what I mean? I ain't never wanted to be hard. Why the f I want to be so tough? Why y'all? So here's the thing. I'm saying this, well, I'm asking because I get it's being pushed in the music. It's being pushed on television. It's really being pushed through other black women that this is the mindset you need to have. And you need to be a bad bitch. You need to be a bad this, bad that. Like, you know what I mean? I saw a video where these girls from Chicago, like that Moscow 2 song, I hate that shit. I tell my daughter, turn that shit off, and I'm not playing. Why do y'all want to be in videos throwing up gang signs and pointing guns at the camera and shit like that? When if you look at how shit be moving sometimes in the streets of Chicago, these girls getting smoked. Do you hear me? I mean, walking them down. They ain't giving no passes. But y'all steady want to play in this shit. Like, y'all be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And then when you read the stories later on, it be like, you know, mother of 2, mother of 3, shot down in. But look at the shit that y'all doing. Like, I don't think we are. And I understand a lot of these females, like, we can sit here and make it seem like they have no guidance and no influence and no. A lot of times that be bullshit. It be straight cap. Like a lot of these motherfuckers coming from 2-parent homes with a mom and daddy that love them or a grandmama that love him, somebody, but they gravitate to the shit that they feel is going to be accepted in the streets. Clout is a hell of a drug. I'm so serious. Clout is a hell of a drug. And so many of these young ladies just be wanting so badly to be one of the guys. Are you me? I was riding through. I stay out west. I'm riding in a particular area, and it's a joint. It's chicks sitting on crates outside with these dudes, not even thinking, like, and I don't know if they be thinking or not, but a lot of these females, like, y'all know y'all basically, like, sitting ducks. Y'all, like, a target. Sit next to these dudes. Y'all, here's my thing. Now, y'all know I've been on these streets working with these kids for a long time. It's 19 years. My girls who really come from this shit, like I'm talking about real trench babies, and they grew up in this, they don't want no parts of the streets. They don't want no parts of the streets. I'm telling you, those are the ones that be like, man, OG, Mama Pooh, can you help me get in this program? Or can you help me get in school? Or can you help me get this job? They don't want no parts of that shit because they know what it's like already. It's the ones who have some access or some resources to someone. They have somebody who really care about them that want to go off the deep end because they have such a yearning.
And the grass always greener on the other side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had guys like where they came from way better backgrounds than me, but got into like deeper shit than I did. You know what I'm saying? Because the awareness around them was lower for them to fall victim to that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she's saying. The girls that came from that shit, they not looking deeper into it, but somebody on the outside that might just see the glamorous parts of the street, they gonna think like, oh yeah, that's where I want to be at. You know what I'm saying? But man, the streets will chew you up and spit you out no matter where you from.
For a life that they don't have to live. And
Real quick, man, I just want to pause it and say, when it comes to the culture, especially in music, I think we all have seen, and I've definitely noticed myself, the increase and growing popularity of like these very masculine female rappers. You guys know what I've said in the past. I love music. And if you guys remember my opinion when it came to rap music, you know, I've confessed that I try my best to make sure that I stay away from toxic rap music. I do listen to rap when I work out, but it's getting to the point now where I'm thinking I might need to take like a hard stance the older I get just on modern rap, just because of how much it contradicts what I actually believe, right? Because at first I thought, you know, it's entertainment and I don't go to watch movies about killers and want to repeat the shit in real life. But I think especially in the Black community now, it's to the point where I'm realizing
music
just how
different
much
though. Music different. Music and television is different, especially in our culture, because they make it clear that they try to blur the lines between the reality and everything. And you got so many dog whistles and so many fail safes to make sure that people is trying to live what they talking about. You got keeping it real. You got get it how you live. You got, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Street nigga. You know what I'm saying? You got all that shit. All these different programs for niggas to adhere to, as to try to take it beyond entertainment in the form of music. You know what I mean? Like, nah, niggas is really trying to live this stuff. And I always think about this too, right? So you listen to these songs, whether it be the girls talking about all the bags and all that they getting, and the dudes doing all this and that or whatever, whether it be the guys talking about all the dope they selling and all the girls they having and all this other shit. A lot of that you're not gonna be able to do because you ain't in that position and you ain't got that money. But some of it you is gonna be able to do, and those are the parts that people gonna imitate. Let me give you an example. Like, so she was talking about the Cardi B video, right? Like talking about she seen the Cardi B video, and it was disturbing when she, like, you know, really looked at the lyrics and all that shit or whatever, and like what they was talking about, right? But the thing about it is this: it's like you'll have somebody like Cardi B, they do all that, they talk about certain shit, but they separate themselves from it. She talk about how she don't need no nigga, but she got a whole fucking husband and 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? She will encourage her listeners not to get married or do none of that shit, right? But the thing is, they don't live what they talk about. Now, somebody who listened to her, they can't go out and get a rapper, and they can't afford to have 2 kids and still look like her with the get their body done and have nannies and all that shit. But what they can do is have that attitude. You know what I'm saying? These girls can't be like Megan, but they can have that attitude like, oh, I don't need no man. They don't got the money. They don't got the resources, but they can have the I don't need no man attitude. And so if y'all ever wonder why, like, dudes don't be liking them female rappers like that, that's exactly why, because we got to deal with the runoff from all that shit. It sound all cool on paper and all that, and it's all jazzy and shit, you know what I'm saying? But then the girl that grew up across the street from you now that you've been knowing for years, now she acting brand new, like y'all ain't both grew up in the hood. She acting like you need a fucking Bentley or some shit. You know what I mean? Just disturbing shit. You know what I mean? In the same way with these dudes out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like they listen to the songs. They can't have the money. They listen to the young boy. Young boy got 11 kids. He be at home on house arrest. You know what I'm saying? You can't do exactly what he doing the way he do it because you ain't got the money, the resources, or none of that, or the lawyers to get into trouble and all that shit. But the shit that he talk about, like the simplest shit, like, oh, I shoot a motherfucker, I slide on a motherfucker, all that. You can do that. And that's the part that people mimic. And that's why people is moving away from that shit, like rap music in general, man, because it done got so self-destructive over the years. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it really do target the kids when you think about it too. So let's go.
Was tied to the streets, and then somebody come shoot up the car. She died, and he lived. Y'all gotta make it make sense. Like, y'all have to really start thinking. Y'all think this shit cute, and it's really not. Like, y'all dispose. Here's what you gotta understand. Ladies, young
and with
ladies,
the masculine rap, yeah, it's gonna be girls getting in some street nigga shit too.
These dudes. If you around any male that know they into something they ain't got no business being into, and they allow you to be around them while they doing it, or be in the mix of anything that they have going on like that, They don't care about you. You are disposable. So when you think that is somehow him caring about you, you riding in cars with him and he know he hot, you riding in cars with him and he know he dirty, you sitting outside on the block with him, or if you are in that space at any time, they don't care about you at all. Let me tell you a story real quick that showed me the difference. Okay? Listen, I remember it like it was yesterday. So I go to my old neighborhood. One of the guys is like cooking or something, so everybody's just kind of outside hanging out. Now we in the alley, right? One of the guys had the garage door open. I parked my car in the alley. My homegirl not far from me. Now I had my baby with me, but she wasn't outside with me. She was in the garage with one of the guys that we grew up with. And I'm sitting on the hood of my car, and something tells me, look up the alley. So I look up the alley and I see somebody walking up, and he got on all black. Immediately I sit up, so I nudge my girl. I was like, hey, look at buddy coming up the alley. So she like, who is that? I'm like, I don't know. But you see how he moving, right? So I'm like, damn, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. When I say that's what happens when you outside and you drinking and you smoking and all of that, nobody was paying attention. So I'm looking, and as he gets closer, I ain't see him like move. So listen, he get closer, and we notice who it is. He comes straight over to us, right? Now, mind you, he dressed in all black. Folks is still talking. They listening to music. Ain't nobody paid attention. He came over. He said, what y'all doing back here? We like, oh, we just kicking it, you know. Woo, woo. He looked at my back seat. He said, where the baby at? I said, she in the garage. He looked at the garage. He looked back up the alley. He said, go home. When I tell y'all, I got up immediately, got my baby, put her in her car seat, and I drove off. This was one of my day ones. Me and this boy grew up together. I'm talking about since little bitty kids. And I know what type of person he is and what type of time he be on. He ain't have to tell me twice. And I wasn't waiting on nobody to co-sign and be like, oh, yeah, we need to get up out of it. No. He said, go home. Not bullshit, y'all, not. I might have been in my grandma's house 30, 40 minutes before it happened. And he wasn't out there. I remember telling old girl a couple days after that, like, you realize how much he got to care about us for him to make sure that we got up out of there, that we was out the way before whatever happened. And I tell young ladies all the time, the respect from them comes from you respecting yourself, not from you wanting to be one of the guys and wanting to be outside and in the streets with them, or, you know, y'all want to go get dressed up just to stand on the block. Like, it makes no sense. Everybody want to be the Cardi B's and the hood chicks, and y'all want to put the guns in the camera. That shit ain't cute. Like, if you think that's gonna make some dude respect you, baby, you disposable. You're a goofy. You're a clown to him. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't no rider. If that's what you think, no, baby, you finna take this. Whatever come with him. This is how I know y'all don't know the difference between these internet gangsters who be all cap. They just got tattoos and a gun and be on the internet running their mouth, versus them ones who really be in this and they don't want nobody that's gonna be a liability. They need assets.
Yeah, exactly. She ain't say nothing but facts right there. I used to always think that, man, like, you know, I'm a definitely living a whole different life now, but, you know, back when I was young and I was ripping and running in the streets and shit like that, you know, you'll go do something, go bust a move and shit, and like, you know, a chick you talking to might want to, let me come with you, let me ride with you. She think that shit cute. If anything happened to me, your ass is grass. You know what I'm saying? So I'ma keep you stay home. Don't even worry about none of this shit. You don't need to be a part of none of this shit, none of that. Back in the days, like she said, real motherfucker really from the streets or whatever, or however, you know what I'm saying? That shit is for the money. It ain't for the glamour or the glitz or the clout. So everybody that don't need to be involved in that shit ain't involved in it. You know what I mean? And that's what she's saying. She's saying a lot of these girls think that, like, you know, that shit smooth and it's a look and a aesthetic to be running around with these niggas that's hot out here. But you'll lose your life. And she's saying you seeing that happen a lot. They got all these songs coming out where these girls, oh, I smoke them like a blunt, but get it wet, push back if you try to front, don't play with it, don't play. Like, nah, don't go out here trying to do that. You can't do that. You can't do that, boo. It ain't gonna work out for you. You know what I'm saying? Folks is out here disturbed and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's corruption. It's folks with mental issues, all type of shit, all across the board. You know what I'm saying? And it all depend on the position people in. So in this last clip, you know, we had a conspiracy to overthrow the elections and shit, and one of the main people behind it was who they called America's Mayor, Rudy Giuliani. You know what I mean? He a high-ranking motherfucker, so you know, a lot of people, they'll see these people getting indicted and see stuff happening, and they like, oh, how come they ain't going to jail? Man, because money slows shit down. Money can make situations get real sticky. And these folks got a lot of money, but you could see them cracks starting to come in. Like they was lying on the black lady, and they thought they was gonna get away with it, because they're basically like, she ain't nobody. Who is she? Like, we high-powered lawyers and politicians and shit, and so what? We slander her. She just a regular citizen grunt, you know what I'm saying? But that shit ended up backfiring. Let's go.
So Rudy Giuliani now admits that he lied. He lied about Georgia state election workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman. In the process, endangering their livelihood and their lives. What's in store for Rudy now? Let's talk about that, because justice matters.
Glenn Kirshner, shout out to Glenn Kirshner.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, Donald Trump's former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, just admitted in a court filing that he lied. He lied about Georgia state election workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman. Before we turn to the new reporting, will you indulge me just 30 seconds of housekeeping? As you may know, here at Justice Matters, we are an all-volunteer operation, up and running 7 days a week, posting a legal analysis video every day, who have come over of two Georgia admits to false statements about Georgia election workers. And that article begins, Rudolph Giuliani has conceded that while acting as a lawyer for former President Donald Trump, he made false statements by asserting that two Georgia election workers had mishandled ballots while counting votes in Atlanta during the 2020 election. The concession by Giuliani came in court papers filed on Tuesday night as part of a defamation lawsuit that the two workers, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, had brought against him in federal district court in Washington, D.C. in December 2021. The suit accuses Mr. Giuliani and others of promoting a video that purported to show Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss, who are mother and daughter, of manipulating ballots while working at the State Farm Arena for the Fulton County Board of Elections. In a two-page declaration, Mr. Giuliani acknowledged that he had in fact made the statements about Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss that led to the filing of the suit, and that the remarks carry meaning that is defamatory per se. He also admitted that his statements were actionable and false, and that he no longer disputed the factual elements of liability the election workers had raised in their suit. Michael Gottlieb, a lawyer for Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss, said that Mr. Giuliani's declaration conceded that his clients had honorably performed their civic duties in the 2020 presidential election in full compliance with the law, and the allegations of election fraud that he, Giuliani, and former President Trump made against them have been false since day one. Although Fulton County and Georgia officials immediately debunked the accusations, Mr. Giuliani kept promoting them, ultimately comparing the women, both of whom are black, to drug dealers, and calling during a hearing with Georgia state legislators
Dude, could you imagine if you volunteered to be a poll worker and shit? Like, you know how they be calling your phone asking if you want to volunteer to do poll work? Imagine you volunteer to just be a poll worker on some humbug. Like, man, let me earn a few extra bucks. The next thing you know, the government and some other motherfuckers was telling the FBI they need to raid your house because y'all are some drug dealers and y'all are doing election fraud and shit. Man, I'd be pissed the fuck off. However, I know, like I said, the lies always fall apart, but the truth will set your ass free. The truth gonna stay the same, right? And with that truth in mind, I would be like, all right, and what else did I do? And what else did I do? Because I go back and do exactly what they did, file a fat-ass defamation suit. I know they gonna get some millions off this shit.
For their homes to be searched. And friends, as if Rudy's lies weren't enough, Mr. Trump invoked Miss Freeman's name 18 times during a phone call with Brad Raffensperger, the Georgia's Secretary of State, on January 2nd, 2021. You remember the call, friends, where Donald Trump told Raffensperger, just find me 11,780 votes and corruptly declare me the winner of the election in Georgia. And Donald Trump, in furtherance of that criminal ask, that criminal demand of Raffensperger, raised Miss Freeman's name 18 times, asserting these false allegations.
They need to sue Donald Trump too. Don't just go after Giuliani, go after Donald Trump. Shit, for like double.
Remember what Miss Freeman had to say about that? Quote, I've lost my name. I've lost my reputation. Miss Freeman testified to the House January 6th committee, adding, as her voice rose with emotion, do you know how it feels to have the President of the United States target you? So friends, what should happen now to Rudy Giuliani for lying about, defaming, endangering, and damn near ruining the lives of Georgia election workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman? Well, first of all, in the civil suit that those two women brought against Rudy Giuliani for defamation,
they gonna get some money.
I hope they take that sad little liar for every penny he's got.
They gonna get some money.
Just as importantly, I hope Rudy Giuliani makes an appearance as a marquee defendant in District Attorney Fani Willis's prosecution of Georgia.
Yeah, cause no, when that Georgia RICO come down, shit gonna get serious, and this part of that. So that's what really make it a big thing. It's good that they got justice, but also just that admission in court and the fact that Trump was running with the same thing. It's like co-conspirator type shit. So yeah, man, it's kind of major. My little political thing I wanted to throw in just for y'all to think about. For those of y'all watching this, shout out to the replay gang. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. You know what I'm saying? But just for those of the people who a little bit, you know, political, or keep up with some of the goings on and shit like that. But yeah, man, you know, overall, it's I don't know. I would just say, you know, you gotta just watch out, man, for people. It's a lot of liars, grifters out here. Giuliani grifting, Carlee Russell grifting. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit. I just say keep your head in the game, keep your head on the swivel, stick with the people you trust. Shout out to the people I trust. You know what I'm saying? The moderation gang. Shout out to Fresh. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to EB. Shout out to Burt Lane. You know, shout out to Annette. Shout out to Kids. Shout out to everybody and shit, the whole gang, man. You know, don't forget y'all, press conference heating up, fight this weekend. Make sure you watch the fight. The shit is gonna be one like generational fight. You know what I'm saying? Shit is gonna be good. Make sure you watch that shit. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, man. So we're gonna wrap this week up tomorrow, and until then, later, y'all. I'm gone.